What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler. I review movies by reenacting them, and today we're going to talk about Cuckoo, where a 25-year-old looking teenager named Gretchen, played by Hunter Schafer, moves with her father and stepfamily to the Bavarian Alps, only to discover the family boss, Dan Stevens, is experimenting on people and has his eyes set on her younger half-sister as his new subject. Now, when I saw Longlegs, the trailer for this impressed me with how much it kept the plot a mystery, and the early reviews saying that it lived up to its title was enough for me to check it out, which is why it pains me to say, as much as I wanted to like Cuckoo, I ironically didn't think the movie was cuckoo enough, or even really all that scary. But I will say this, director Tilman Singer does a good job at least building up atmosphere and suspense. The cinematography and staging actually introduces a villain from behind the main character within the background, or a POV shot of someone following a character before they introduce a jump scare. So even when they rely on loud bursts of music in order to make you jump, it is genuinely earned because the threat is introduced early on. But it's easily the music and sound design that makes this atmosphere so unsettling to sit through, especially these moments where characters start to experience the exact same scene over and over again, and they slowly become more aware of it. And of all the actors in this, Dan Stevens is the one who really elevates his material, playing up this campy mad scientist type in such a nonchalant way where he says the most batshit crazy things so calm and convincing that did legit make every scene he was in feel tense whenever he was speaking. Hunter Schafer's technically doing a good job too, but the script she's given leads into my main problems with the film. For starters, even though this is a movie with a title, premise, and performances that just scream campy B-movie, it takes the scenes with the family drama so fucking seriously. Even though the stepfamily is nothing but stock horror cliches, the dad says that he cares about his daughter only to ignore her and berate her for most of the film, although honestly, she makes it pretty easy sometimes. The younger half-sister, whose presence is so crucial to the plot, I know she's mute and occasionally epileptic, and that's about it. And the stepmom is also just there. There's not enough screen time to actually see the family interact with one another to actually feel scared for them when shit starts to go down. And when there is violence on screen, it's done in such an unsatisfying way where, for starters, it's nowhere near as bloody as it should have been. And the violence itself was filmed in such an uncinematic way. And what I mean by that is, the evil plan, without getting into specifics, involves human experimentation, mind control, even advancements in human evolution. And that can lead to so many fast-paced, gory, over-the-top sequences. Hell, just watching the trailer, can you already imagine Hunter Schafer duct-taping her butterfly knife to her cast and just slicing and dicing people? That would have been fucking awesome. But all those moments in the trailer where she holds the knife in her mouth and she's about ready to cut a bitch, do not let those moments fool you. She has a butterfly knife that she snuck from the US to Germany somehow. She flails it around all the time and cuts one evil person in the throat. Tops. That's it. She's not a badass final girl, and that was a massive disappointment. They try to go for the more emotional climax where she has to fight her inner demons, and I'll get more into that later, but whenever a character is hiding from or hunting one another, they move and fight in such a slow fashion that I guess was done in order to feel more gritty and realistic, but again, given the plot and performances, I think that was a major mistake, and it would have been a hell of a lot more entertaining and investing if it was done in a more energized and outlandish way. I guess I could have been scared by what was going on if I cared about the characters on screen, but that also leads into Hunter Schafer's character. I know she's supposed to be a deliberately unlikable, spoiled brat who's venting her frustrations out on her stepfamily because, of course, her mom had recently just died, because why wouldn't she? But of course, once they get in danger, she has to come to her senses, accept them for who they are, and hopefully protect them before it's too late. And to Schafer's credit, she really does sell the grief and despair of having to come to terms with this new environment, but my god, does this script make her way too bitchy of a character for me to feel anything towards her. She steals from strangers, curses out, and even punches people while still trying to prove that there's some weird shit going on. And I already hate a horror story whenever someone discovers something major, but of course it's covered up and no one believes them for half the damn runtime, which We already know that she's gonna prove it eventually. Like, stop making it that big a surprise, guys. But in her case, she makes it so fucking easy for people to disregard her. And like I said, because there's barely any family dynamic presented within the movie, we only get one or two brief glimpses of her showing any signs of redemption, and it's not on screen long enough for me to really care. So towards the finale, when she does actually start acting remorseful, I just didn't care for it. The only reason I know for sure she's sorry is that she explains it in great detail. Hell, the only reason I know what any character feels about anything in this is because they explain it in great detail. The world building and character development is done through exposition as opposed to visually showing us what's happening, which is why when it takes until the third act for them to even drop hints as to what's actually going on, the climax just confused the hell out of me, and every reveal that they just throw at you like the kitchen sink felt like a Deus Ex Machina, because honestly, I wouldn't have guessed until they just dropped it like that. I really wanted to like Cuckoo, and I can see the potential with this premise and casting, but it tries to bite off more than it can chew. It should have just focused on being a goofy horror comedy as opposed to a self-serious family drama that also occasionally wants to be a body horror. So in any case, guys, thanks as always for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Cuckoo. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on Patreon and buy me a coffee. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Take care.